Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer. Today we're going to have a go at building a 28mm rural chapel. So first of all we're going to need a piece of foam board which is 30cm by 7cm by 20cm by 10, like this picture here. And we're going to need two of these. And this is going to be the main bulk of the outside of the building. So we're going to need two more pieces, 9cm by 20, and then this piece which is 7cm with a 2cm top, so 9cm, and we're going to be chopping those corner bits off to give it a peak, but it should be by 9cm, not by 10cm. And then we want another piece like this which is 10cm and 2cm up. Now this doorway, as you can see, is cut out, and I've specifically got a mantic door which is going to be fitting into this space, so I've cut it to shape, but for you might need doors. So first of all we're going to mark out some windows on this chapel on the main building. So they're going to be 1cm wide. Now how far up you do them is up to you. I do it my ruler's width up from the floor, so there you go, that's where it is. And I do them 2cm tall, so they're very narrow little windows like you get in these little chapels that you see in rural communities or out in the middle of a village somewhere. Now I'm aiming this for more of a fantasy setting, but there's no reason why this couldn't be used in any modern day setting, or maybe even a western setting if you're going to set it in the right sort of environment. So then I'm going to place a window in the tower. So this is going to be in the back part of the tower, and where you put it is completely up to you. I put it about a quarter of the way down, and I mark out a 1cm by 2cm window. Now this will need to be cut out obviously, so you use a sharp blade, which I didn't use. I've got a very blunt blade, but yeah, just cut it out and put it out. And there we go, around all the windows, cutting them all out. So next, the inside tower piece. So this is the one wall for the tower, but it's going to be on the inside of the building. So I mark out again a mantic door, because I know exactly what size door it's going to be, and I cut it out. So I've worked out try and stick to as I carry on. So here I am separating the tower and marking out 5mm from the edge on this downstairs bit, because we're going to put some cladding on the inside of the main chapel area. What my thinking is this the one-story part is the main chapel where everybody has their sermons, and the tower is where the priest maybe lives, or the monk. So we'll mark this up and glue some not cocktail sticks, some coffee stirrers to the inside of this one-story part of the chapel. So just getting a coffee stick and marking out the sizes as and when I get to an odd piece. I try and leave that 5mm on the end so that when I butt the the rooms together, they'll fit nicely. So that's what it looks like with the cladding on the inside. So now we're going to actually glue the building together. You might want to paint it first if you wanted to, but I decided I'd glue it all together, and I'll paint it in a separate video later. So then once you've glued it, you want to pin it to hold it in place so it doesn't shift around when it's getting firm. So this is the inside tower wall I'm connecting everything to. And this is the wall I cut the door out of from. So we glue the other wall on, and again we use pins to hold it in place. Foam core buildings are very easy to make and are a lot of fun. So there might be some warp here, but we won't worry about that for now. Now this is where the dimensions were wrong. I said 10 centimeters and it should have been 9 for the front piece, and then it'll fit in between the 5mm foam board. And here's the little arch on the other side to hold the roof up. And we glue this into place, and then I use some of the coffee stirrers to cap off the foam board to give it a bit of strength. And I put these around the top of all the walls, and I make this little clip like so it's leaving a centimetre either side so that it'll hang over the main tower building, and then I'll have to go around here and clad this lower floor. It just makes it look a bit neater when we're finished and gives it some strength. So there it is. So now we're going to attach this floor, so it's going to have a ground floor, a first floor and a second floor. And this is like the second floor or roof. And I'm not going to bother cutting a hole in it for how they get up there. I'll just assume they can. So now we're putting down some timber flooring. And we put this on all of the floors, so this floor and the floor below, not on the ground floor, because I'm going to be gluing this to a base, and that base will have the texture for the ground floor. So it's easy enough, just cut some coffee stirrers to various lengths and stick them down with PVA glue. It's a bit of a fiddle, but you do get a nice effect when it's done. So here it's finished. I just need to trim up the edges to get them all in line, and it'll look great. Nope, not quite finished. I got a little spot by here that I need to cover. There you go. That's it finished. And again, it looks a bit skew-iff and a bit ragtag, but that's good because we want it to look like a poor run-down chapel. So now we're going to put some features on the outside. So we're going to put some trim around the windows, sort of wattle and daub effect. Not that I want it to look like wattle and daub when I'm finished, but it's kind of that effect. We'll put some detail in just to break up all of that flat expanse. So I measure it out just by putting it against the building, trim off any that's too long, and just glue it into place along the lengths of the windows. And we're going to do this for all of the windows, with the exception of the one on the tower. So there'll be 4 windows that we do exactly the same thing on, and I won't show you on all of the 4 windows, I'll just do it on one and you can see how it's done. So here I just measure up the size just by eyeballing it. And it'll give the building some interest when we come to paint it and pick up the detail that's going to be standing out. And that is one of the window features done. So onto the second one, and like I said, we just keep doing this around the building. So next we're going to separate the tower from the main building with some detail. So we just again get some coffee stirrer and go up to the 7 centimeters mark to just put some interest here. There you go. Then we're going to put a cross piece, again just to add some detail and some interest to the building, because otherwise with foam core buildings they can look a little bit bland and boring. So we want to try and make some points of interest just to break up that vast expanse. Now coffee stirrers are better than lollipop sticks because they are 5mm and most foam board is 5mm, so it covers up the construction of the foam board really well. So here we are, we're going up the sides of the tower, and also coffee stirrers can be bought on eBay, dirt cheap, Amazon, whichever. Now we find lollipop sticks are a little bit too big for the scale, so coffee stirrers are nice. So here we're using it to hide the composition of the foam board, because it's got that foam layer in between the 2 pieces of card, so this hides it quite nicely. And again, gives you something a bit more interesting to see. So one across the top, and we go around the top of each piece. There you go. And it gives it that little lip, which will be good. So now I'm lining these up so I can see where the coffee stirrer will go on this outside wall or the back wall. And here I am lining it up.